Denys, you've just received the pretty prestigious international award for democracy that was for the anti-corruption fighters. So you're doing the investigative program here in Ukraine, which is extremely popular and I hope and can say to some extent effective. We're speaking now about Ukraine in 2017, and there is something in that still the investigative journalists from Ukraine receive the international awards for fighting corruption. So what are probably the key cases, the most important things in a way how corruption is done today?
We have only one thing that they actually have a possibility to steal. It's always people's money. I mean, if you talk about some budget, if you talk about some rules in the country, there is just nothing else. So I'm not sure that for now, tactically, we have some difference between times 4 years ago. That's still some public procurement schemes, that's still some monopolies who controlled sectors of economy. The difference is that for now we have something that I can call corruption competition. I mean, at Yanukovych's time there was a solid pyramid of corruption. Yeah? So any official was in this system, and today we have a lot of I would say a lot of wings, yeah, a lot of groups that have some competition between them, and this is really helpful.
Can we speak about some particular spheres, industries? Because somehow my guess would be, from what I'm following, that somewhere it's cleaner, more transparent, but that's where there are less money, like on the healthcare, there would be the small corruption with the people paying, but then there would be fields which are really still are very, very closed, and industries.
We talk a lot about transparency, and transparency by itself, it's not about corruption. Yeah, I mean, for now we have a lot of some transparent sectors, and we think that I don't know, corruption in this sector gone even bigger than in previous times. It's not true, because we just see more. Transparency can't work without some judicial system, yeah, and that's a problem for all of us, because for now we see a lot and still can do not so much. If we talk about industries, I don't know, it's for now I think it's the same. It's heavy industry, it's bank sector, it's maybe all that have any touch to state monopolies, and it's Ukrainian railways as it is. I think we have better situation for now in oil and gas system. Yeah, that I saw very smart steps in Naftogaz. I saw a lot of good steps in gas sector.
Meaning good steps to become more transparent and less corrupt, or good
okay,
steps to
that's not about transparency. Yeah, when we talk about how to say about oil sector and about gas sector, that's more about just smart management decision. They don't increase transparency level. They increase economic level, and they increase competition on this field.
And look, are there any particular cases where you have seen that there was a result, that the law enforcement was involved, and the people, those about whom you were investigating, your team had been investigating, that they've been at least prosecuted? and where it's extremely difficult to see, though the results are obvious?
If you talk about example, for last month, I think we push 3 criminal procedure against Batkivshina's party, against Lashko in touch with his illicit enrichment, and against official from tax department. But the biggest problem is that if we'll talk about some results, yeah, we have much more. We have more results when we don't need to connect with the prosecutor's office or with the courts. I mean, if you want to cancel some public procurement, you have to just write about it, and someone in this department who control this procurement usually just cancel it because nobody wants any problem. If you need to start any criminal case and how to say, add any official investigation, okay, that's a problem.
And look, the last one, we here at Mezhyhirya, the former Yanukovych residence.
Yeah.
But rather the general question, there was a lot of enthusiasm when we have seen the papers of previous president, and there were a lot of journalistic cases. The investigation had good chances to be investigated, though as was even the political will by the Ukrainian opposition at that time. It looked like back then to investigate their opponents, former party of region and the others. We can go into details, but in general, how do you see that?
At least I can't see any moves on this way. Our present officials make a very sweet photo with former officials from Yanukovych's time. Yeah, that's big. I'd say big 100% nothing.
How we can explain that? Yeah, it's just not there really. You can't have their direct link that I don't know. President has a connection to that guy from the party of region. There is not that obvious thing to say that they have either. I'm speaking about a top official, that they have a common business or something, and they are still political opponents.
But why not? You see, if all your economy based on maybe 1,000 people, they always connected one with another. Maybe it's not so obvious like they co-founders in some company, but Ukrainian economy it's not big at all. Yeah, I mean, and it's extremely monopolized, and in any moment any money bag have some connection with everyone. So I think we have to look on this not like on the network of some connections, yeah, some separate connections, but look through it like one big bunch of connections and shared money in very small Ukrainian economy.